Happy Hanukkah! There are lots of different traditions associated with celebrating the festival of lights that we call Hanukkah. The first, and the one that you've probably heard of before, is that we light our Hanukkah Menorah. It's really called a Chanukiah, but most people call it a menorah. And the idea is that each night you put one candle in your helper, and then each night you add another candle. But there is a great debate from the Talmud talking about should you start with all 8 candles in the helper or should you just do one? And the tradition that has been passed down is you light one on the first night and then each night you increase the light in order to increase the joy. You can also see here that we have these cool oil lamps. Rabbi Michael, you want to talk about the oil lamps?
So these are from very different periods in time, but the word menorah in Hebrew also just simply means lamp. As you can see, though, the flame came out from the front here and oil was put in the base. You can see that we have a number of different kinds of dreidels that are in front of us. We have wooden dreidels. The green one is made out of plastic. On each dreidel, which really just means top or spinner, you have a letter. The letters are an acronym. They all form a sentence once you put them together that tells us the story of Hanukkah and the story of the Maccabees. The story is that once upon a time in the land of Israel, we were under great suffering, and there was a great miracle that took place in the ancient temple because it seemed as though we weren't going to have enough oil to keep the sacred light, the eternal light going, and it turned out that one vessel of oil lasted 8 nights. And that is why on the dreidel, the story is spelled out for us. A great miracle happened there. And if you're lucky enough to find a dreidel that comes from the land of Israel, Rabbi Amy, what will it say on it?
It'll say, Nes Gadol Haya Po, a great miracle happened here.
And those are really special.
So because of that miracle, a lot of the things that we do on Hanukkah have to do with oil, especially the foods we eat. So we eat latkes, which are potato pancakes fried in oil. And there's a tradition that comes from Israel that has made its way to America about eating sufganiyot, which are jelly donuts. Also, of course, fried in oil, which makes them so much more delicious. So one of the traditions that most people, especially children, know about Hanukkah is, of course, presents. Here's the thing about presents, though, is that giving and receiving presents is not actually a traditional part of Hanukkah.
It's true.
That's something that we do in America because Hanukkah often falls so close to Christmas. So many families ask us, are Hanukkah and Christmas the same thing? Is Hanukkah the Jewish version of Christmas? And it is not. However, there are many people who like the idea of saying that because Hanukkah is a time when we need a little bit of extra light, we need a little extra joy in our lives, that there are many families who decide that on each of the 8 nights of Hanukkah, they will be able to give and exchange presents. What we like to recommend is because this is also a time of year where it is usually the darkest and coldest time of year, that this is a time to really be thinking about others. So if you are going to be able to give presents in your family or with your circle of friends on Hanukkah, one suggestion would be to take at least one night of Hanukkah and think about giving back to others.
For more information, visit our website.